Chief Rabbi, as we move on.
It's beautiful. And I know, just for the sake of time, and I know you're gonna do this, I want us to sit back and again, like, go into this idea of saying that if I'm me being connected to Jacob, me being Zerah Israel, me being connected to this whole manifestation of Yaakov, right? In expanding that, in wanting, in keeping the Torah of Yaakov, and in being in this Masurah of holiness of Torah, that we have to understand that we're not in the battle of the physical world.
Come on.
We're in the battle of the spiritual world, in the unseen reality. We're in the world of angels. We're in the world that our behavior sends vibrations, and then there's an effect. It doesn't say this by anybody else, any other people in the Torah. It doesn't say this about Ishmael. It doesn't say about Asaph. It doesn't say about nobody. It's talking about Yaakov right now creating angels.
That's right.
It's giving him a unique designation, right? And so the idea is to be able to say that to go into this is, look, now he's sending these angels to his brother as a way to transform his thinking, but it's affecting his brother. But at the same time, we're gonna learn very soon that Asaph's angel comes back after him. And he has to battle that angel. So it's not just the fact that he's just doing this and he's sending angels. Like, no, you are battling the angels of other people. And the only way you can battle the angels of other people is through holiness. You can't do it going to the gym and getting buffer. That's not going to protect you from these forces. And as the pasuk says earlier, going out here and sleeping with women and men of unholiness and unholy ways, it creates a huge negative angel against us. Right? And this negative angel that we create against ourselves, we got to do hard tshuva. But that angel, if we don't do tshuva, will follow us in the next world, especially us men.
That's right.
Right? And so we're battling angels. If you don't want to deal with that, don't say you're connected to Jacob. It's right here in the Parsha.
Come on.
If it's right here in the Parsha. So if Jacob's dealing with angels and you're saying you are connected, you were descended, all these things. Okay, so if you're saying that and you believe that that's what you are, how can you not live in a way that would separate you from creating negative angels? Right? And how could you live in a way to protect yourself from other people's negative angels?
Come on.
And so that's the challenge that we're dealing with. And this is the challenge that and all the great leaders that came before, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, all these people, amazing, holy people. Okay, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. My parents wouldn't be here. My grandparents would be here. I'm not doubting. I'm not putting down. But when did we get to the world of the metaphysical world? And understanding that the battleground starts there.
Come on.
Not with civil rights, not with voting in a democracy, not with having politicians that have the same idea as you. No, when the people collectively say that I'm going to attach myself to holy angels through my conduct and my behavior, and I'm teaching my children that, and my neighbors are teaching their children that, and we're living amongst each other, not to be good people, but rather to serve God and to bask in Hashem's holiness, right? So this is what we're dealing with. This is the concept. This is the whole dilemma that we're dealing with. But we were taught in a different way that, our dilemma is battling. We got to conquer, like Asaph. You got to tear down the building. You got to turn the government upside down. You got to fight to the death, right? When we had the peaceful protests by Martin Luther King, could you imagine the angels they were creating?
Come on.
I'm saying it sent vibrations around the world where people say, wait, there could be a peaceful way to transform reality. This is what Jacob is doing.
That's right.
Jacob is doing the sit-in. He's doing the sit-in. The dogs are barking. The cops are there. They got sticks. The sit-in. And that sit-in transformed reality. They were creating angels then. That's what they were doing. Now, was it a teaching that they sat down and said that we're doing this? No, but it's through the natural spirit that they had inside of them to rectify and transform the minds of the people that hated them for no reason. They changed them through peace and love and forgiveness. This is what Jacob is doing right now to his brother Esau, Esau was putting me in chains here in America. Same story.
Come on. Come
Same
on.
story.
Come on.
So we're
Come
saying the
on.
same methods that was used thousands of years ago are relevant today. They were relevant in the 60s. And we're able to transform any opposition through holiness. And that's what we got to build out of this parsha. Don't read this stuff as if you're saying, okay, I know I'm Israel, right? And if you're saying you're Israel, I'm not reading it as a history book. I'm reading it as an instruction manual.
That's
I'm
right.
reading it as God having a conversation with me saying, hey, brother, this is what you need to do. You're in the month of Kislev. There's darkness. The sun is further away from the earth. The days are shorter. Nothing's growing. It looks dark out here. How do you function in that? He's showing me how to function in the darkness. Same time of the year, same dilemma, same ancestor. What's up?
Come on. Come on. Come on. Stop reading the text like it's a history book and understand it's a moral guide. The Creator takes through the scribes and the prophets the history of our ancestors and records it so that it serves us as a moral guide. I'm not reading about Abraham and thinking to myself that this is great. This is something that happened one time yesterday. I'm reading and I'm understanding that, yes, this is a historical account, but there's a message there for me today. Hashem says to Abraham, Lake Lakah, go away from your ancestral house, from your father's house, from the land of your nativity, to a land that I will show you, unto yourself, Lake Lakah. At that time that he spoke to him, he was known as Abram. He becomes Abraham when he takes that leap of faith, when he takes that first step. You will never become what you have in destiny in your potential unless and until you take that leap of faith. There's a reason why it's said that Abraham embodies emunah, right, as an attribute. We also say that on the tree of life, that Abraham embodies chesed, kindness. And where do we see that? God tells Abraham, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah. Abraham says, peradventure there be 50 people, Lord, what will you do then? Well, I will save the people on behalf of the 50. Well, peradventure there be 40. I will save Abraham. What you doing? The people in that region, listen to me carefully, family, are Sodomites. Abraham knows Lot don't got 50 people with him. So when Abraham says to the Creator, would you save the city on behalf of just 50 righteous people? He know Lot don't got 50 people with him. So Abraham in his righteousness is advocating even on behalf of those that do not deserve or merit it. And this is what we speak of when we speak of chesed. Chesed is giving kindness, giving unto someone, not based on their ability to merit or earn it, but simply based on love. Unconditional love. But in comes the patriarch Yitzchak, Isaac, and he embodies the midot of gevura, restraint. So this is why later in the portions you see Jacob, when he goes to swear, when he goes to pray, he prays according to the text by the pachad of Yitzchak, by the dread of Isaac. Why is that? Because Isaac was known in the land as a very strict man. Isaac didn't play. Isaac was a Zadik, and he did that which was right at all times. Follow his life. The Torah treats Isaac almost as if he was a perfect sacrifice. In fact, the sages say that Abraham offered him up, but he didn't. But they treated as such because they both were willing participants in what Hashem called and desired of them. Abraham was willing to perform the act. Isaac was willing to perform the sacrifice. So the sages say, Kazal comment, that Isaac is considered a perfect offering. From him comes two sons, Esav and Yaakov, Esau and Jacob. Jacob embodies an attribute, midot, known as tiferet, balance. What is that? Jacob will not be Abraham in the sense that anybody gets love. He will also not be Isaac in the sense that everybody has a measured restraint on how much I'm going to give. But Jacob has a great enough insight to say, hey, this period, this time, this person, you may call for chesed right now, kindness or love, so I'll give it to you. And this person, and this time, and this period warrants that we have gevura. Jacob comes and he harmonizes these two modalities, these two attributes, which are extreme: love and restraint, the ability to give unconditionally and the ability to refrain from giving unconditionally. In comes Jacob and harmonizes and balances that. And in comes the story that we are in right now. What are we even talking about when we state that Jacob and Esau fought one another in the womb? Don't you know that the sages teach that the thing that they fought over was a Torah based issue? What do we mean in the Torah when we say that Yaakov, right, wrestles with the angel of Esav? What's really occurring, according to our sages, as borne out in the Midrash, is that Jacob and Esau are a metaphor in their battle, in their confrontation for the modality of redemption. Jacob believes that redemption should be internal, an internal struggle, that a person should be able to reach the highest points of servitude before the Creator and man internally. Esau doesn't. Esau believes that no man is that great. In fact, doesn't the Torah says that there is no man that does good that sinneth not? Esau is a Torah scholar, according to our oral tradition. He is also a great man. The sin and the error with Esau really begins with his progeny. When you check the record of the sages, Esau is regarded as a great man. It is his children that really dropped the ball. So listen carefully. The story of Yaakov and Esau, Jacob and Esau, is a metaphor for the modality of redemption. Should redemption be an internal struggle? Meaning, should man reach God through his own merit, or should heaven come down and the Creator provide an answer? And Esau believes that heaven should come down, that the answer is that God should intervene. That's the account that's really going on. This is a powerful story. I read somewhere in the Zohar, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he says, woe unto those that read the Torah for face value for what it says. All the stories that you read in the Torah are but mere garments for a greater revelation occurring. I'm paraphrasing. He says that the words of the Torah are like a garment that a man puts on, but he who penetrates to the heart of the words is like a person piercing into the soul of a person. I'm paraphrasing. And he goes on to say, woe unto those that just see the garments, the outer surface of what the Torah is saying. But blessed is those who are able to read and see what's really occurring. The story of Esau and Jacob, there's a great parable in that story. There are great spiritual metaphors in that story. And it's all born out from a historical account that really happened, but there's a greater metaphor in the story that we're going to tap into right now.
Yeah, we could just we should go forward with it. And I'm just thinking about everything that you're saying, and just owning the fact of the power that we have as human beings and the power that we have as individuals, and we are really creating reality. And one of the biggest expressions of slavery is the perception that you're not creating reality. That is the slave. The slave is convinced that he or she is not creating reality, but rather they're responding to the reality of the master. But they don't realize that they created the master. They created the subjugation. They created it. And someone can hear that, well, you're not giving, you're not holding people accountable who did horrible acts. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is saying that, yes, the people who arose to do evil were already evil before. But what we're saying now is going forward is saying that we are in the world of angels. We're in the world of dealing with these metaphysical forces. This is our challenge every day. So when we're talking about learning Torah, being spiritual, being righteous, dealing with people with love and respect and kindness, all these different efforts, this is a way to sanctify ourselves, to purify ourselves, so we can be able to merit the blessings from the angels that God gives us.